So we have some interesting guests coming up on the show. We've got Julie White from AXA, who's going to use a bit more details in her role, and Simone Panella, who's going to give us a bit of an insight into. I believe he won the competition, but I'll let him speak more about what it entails. He'll be able to explain it better than me. So welcome to the show. Great to be on board. So we start with yourself, Simone. Tell us a bit about your sort of the competition and what your take is on things.
Hi, Jimmy. Thanks for having me. First of all, my name is Simone. I'm founder of Dyamotech and one of the winners of the AXA Startup competition. I was a rugby player myself, just to give you a little background on the idea. And I stopped because of concussions. So over the past years, I've been developing, working on a solution to help kids better measure and monitor head injuries during sports.
No, it's really interesting. It's something that's sort of we've seen a lot around head injuries and concussions in sport over the last few years. And so was your inspiration, just out of interest, Simone, your experience in rugby, did that kind of inspire you to sort of look into this area or?
Yes, definitely. I mean, that was becoming a professional rugby player was a dream of mine. And so I had to replace that passion in me into something else. So I thought it was a good idea to start working on a potential solution to help my teammates at the start. I had the idea while I was at uni, so I didn't start with the intention of building a business, but rather trying to help my friends. Then, of course, digging into the problem, I got more and more excited and curious about the problem and the potential solutions to them.
Mm. And how has the award sort of impacted your business? How has it seems like it's been a positive, a game changer for you. But can you give us an insight into the award and what it means to win the award and how it's made an impact in your business?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the award consists in £25,000 thanks to AXA, but also a mentoring support and much more than that. Julie will cover that in more details. But I guess that will be very helpful for us in this specific phase of the business where we're trialing a big batch of units in well-known private schools alongside one of the top UK concussion clinics. So that money will really help to maximize the effect of and the output of that pilot.
Now, it sounds really interesting. And so I was going to ask you the question, Julie, in terms of the obviously money, finances is important to get started in business, that's for sure. I think we can all echo those sentiments. But the other thing for a lot of people, and I suppose I can speak from my experience and many other people have spoken anecdotally, having a mentor is key because it can be a bit of a lonely world in business. It's not easy. You know, I think having a mentor is probably equally, if not more important, you could argue, to a certain extent. But can you give us an insight into what this involves, Julie?
Yeah, you're so right there, Jimmy. You know, we do recognise that when you're sometimes a solo entrepreneur, it can be quite a lonely world. You feel the weight of that on your shoulders. For us, yes, the prize fund is a fantastic, initiative to help launch their business, grow their business. But I think this dedicated mentorship program that we provide, it's the feedback that we have from past winners. It's so invaluable. You cannot put a price on it. These are successful business owners who have been through what Simone and our other winner will go through. So tough decision making, the highs and the lows, the late nights, the compromises, the sacrifices, but they've been there and done it. So just to have someone to reach out to if you need a bit of a friendly ear or some support or advice, I just don't think you can put a price on it. And the mentors that we've worked with have been on the program since inception, and even they feel a sense of fulfillment in working with the winners to help them move their business up. So yeah, it's a really important aspect of the AXA Startup Angel program. And as I said, the winners that we've had go on to do bigger and better things have said that wouldn't have been possible without access to our wonderful mentors.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I suppose I've got a couple of questions there, Julie. It must have go off track a little bit. I don't know. But let's say, for example, someone wants to be a mentor type thing. How do they? I know it's probably sort of going off track a little bit, but how do mentors get involved? Obviously, my next question after that will be, how do people learn more if they are looking to start a business and get involved? But what about from a mentor perspective? I mean, there's probably people out there listening to the show who might think, well, actually, you know what? I'd like to mentor somebody and get involved.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've spoken about some of the mentors that we've had on the program for the past few years. We're always looking for ways in which we can bring different mentors onto the program, and we may look to do that next year. I think it's important that we consider what they bring to it. There are many successful entrepreneurs out there, but it's quite important for us to make sure the ones that we want to work with our startups are the ones that we feel can open those doors. If people do want to enter, they can simply just search for AXA Startup Angel. We are currently looking at running the competition in its 6th year. Again, this year, the entries we had succeeded last year. So I think that just speaks to the volume of entrepreneurial spirit across the UK. So yeah, just jump on to AXA Startup Angel and give that a search. You'll see a form there where you can fill out your details, and then we'll get back in touch when entries open for next year. But if you do have a business idea, just enter. Simone is a really good example of an idea that he's had and that really inspired the judges. So it could be you if you just fill out a very simple form.
And is there sort of a criteria for entry, Julie, in terms
really,
of
really simply, just must be UK registered and under 2 years old, because we want to try and get into support businesses at that kind of early foundational stage.
The business under 2 years old?
Yes, yeah.
not the answer. Maybe be young to start a business. Mind you, I'm sure some would have a good idea for a business, but I don't know. So yeah. So I mean, basically, so if I'm not saying I have, but if I had a business idea, I go on the website, and basically, as long as it's under 2 years old, the business, then I fill in the appropriate forms, and obviously from there, the judge will decide if it's appropriate, or if they think it's sort of I guess is what the judge decides in the end. Am I right in thinking that that's sort of how it works?
Yeah. I mean, we will review the entries.
Of course.
But as I said, this year we were blown away. More entries than ever before. Some really truly inspiring ideas. Some ideas come from the most simplest of experiences or personal stories, or in Simone's case, obviously through a sports background. But yeah, just I would really just encourage anyone to enter. There are many winners out there. So yeah, it'd be great to hear their ideas and see what next year will bring.
Yeah, it must be difficult for the judges, I suppose. There must be some, a lot of good ideas. It's not easy, I suppose, from that perspective to decide. So
it's not. It's a tough day in a room. But it's good conversation. It's good debate, and very quickly, I think we then see which sort of ideas are starting to emerge, and it's always a fun session with the other mentors and the judges.
Absolutely, and it's important to promote entrepreneurial spirit. I mean, that really is the you could argue the backbone of the economy, really, in terms of people with great ideas and who get out there and sort of in the case of Simone there, it's just a great idea. And just sort of before we go, Simone, if anyone wants to have a look at your business, your startup, can they have a look? Is there a website available that can sort of check it out?
Yeah, I would advise to go on Instagram mainly. So Dyamotech, DYAMO Tech, DE.
Brilliant. And that's good stuff. Thanks for your time, Simone. I wish you all the best with the business. And Julie, thanks for sort of that information. I'm sure many of our listeners who may have an idea or definitely sort of like have a look at it, that's for sure. Thanks again. Have a great day and a great weekend.
Thank you.
Cheers, Jimmy. Have a good one. Thank you.